we sat down with Hattie and we went through a kind of lots of informal dialogues about, well, look, you know, I've put my work out. What do you want to do with your work? What do you want to do with the work that you did over those 2 or 3 years? And we created a project called Pixel Drops, which is all Hattie's artwork, and it is they're 5H each, and it's very much about creating an environment where people can connect with each other, swap, have a dialogue, and recreate that playground social interaction, which so many young people and adults don't do. I think we're lucky in this space, especially on global Twitter, that we interact with people that we resonate with on a daily basis, and I think that's what makes the community so strong. And we ran that as a separate Discord, so it's really well kind of looked after and supervised, and a safe space for young people. We've got some amazing community moderators in there, you know, some really key people in the community. And we released Pixel Drops, and that in itself was just a phenomenal moment for us as a project, to see Hattie's artwork out there, be well received, to be affordable for people to be able to learn how to download a HashPack, to download these Pixel Drops, to collect them. There's 100. She's still working on them now. The series 2 are done, and hopefully then we launch into future generations of Pixel Drops, which are open to young creators in the community. And we run community kind of challenges throughout the year. We've got one coming up after our next launch, actually, which is a celebration of Robin Holtham's work. She's an Australian artist. She's a phenomenal artist, very colourful. And our next community challenge will be all about colour, all about bright summer, spring positivity. And through that project, we hope that and the Emporium, we hope to raise awareness of social mental health issues. So the Emporium was founded to be able to branch off into lots of different rabbit holes. We've got ideas, crazy ideas coming out of our brains, if you like. And one of the challenges is to be able to be focused as well as being creatively broad. And, you know, we've had some fortunate people supporting us. So Elizabeth Chase from Hello Future Buzz, she's phenomenal. King Solomon, so phenomenal again at supporting us and giving us that little bit of guidance where we need it, to kind of say, okay, what's our key focus? Where are we going with the project? What are we trying to achieve? And it always comes back to creativity, fun, education, and raising awareness of mental and social health issues. And if we can create an environment where a parent or a loved one is sitting down with someone else and creating something and having a dialogue and connecting on that level, then for us that is a huge success. We are on a journey. You know, Hattie started secondary school last year, and September and October, or even up to Christmas, were really challenging times for us. And again, I'll share this out of the sheer hope and will that maybe it helps someone else that might be in the same position. So probably about 3 or 4 years ago, a young boy actually, who played football, my son, took his own life because he was suffering from depression. 12 years old, and my horrific. And the love goes out to the family still. And Hattie was in a really dark place before Christmas, isolated, alone, sad, really low. Again, we were fortunate, we were lucky, we were able to throw the kitchen sink at everything we could to support her. And even though we've done this whole few years of that journey of development and creativity and exploration, and things were on the up, it still came back. And one day she literally just turned around and said, I understand why Bailey did what he did. And as a parent, to hear that will rock you to your core. And it is so deeply ingrained within our mission to say, okay, let's share that. Let's share that. And let's try and help others. So we've got a charity wallet, which eventually we hope will be able to support people that can't get that support that we were able to. We were able to say, and again, not wealthy, but right, how much is it going to cost to get that support that we need? Professional support, that professional help. And it was brilliant because it worked. And we're now in the new year and things are moving forward positively. Yes, there are sleepless nights. Yes, there are moments where there is anxiety and feeling a little bit low. But you know what? There are tools there to get through that. So sorry to ramble on about our journey, if you like, into where we are now. So where are we now?
No, you're totally fine, dude. I mean, I think it takes a lot of bravery to touch base on that stuff. I know that we've experienced similar stuff with my two older kids, and yeah, it's not cheap. I mean, especially I think you nailed it. Even with the I mean, talk about getting somebody in to see, somebody that can really help with mental health. And I mean, therapy is, or therapists, or you have to even like be really careful even within that, because like we went through 5 different iterations of trying to do therapy and everything else. And I mean, that stuff stacks up. I think I probably still owe about $20,000 for therapists for my oldest. I will say, I mean, knowing how long you guys have been in the space, and even hearing like messages from Hattie that you guys have sent me personally, it's been pretty awesome. Especially like the youth empowerment and the aspect as far as creativity to kind of help with the mental health issues, I think is fantastic, because I hadn't seen anybody. It's actually something we talked about really early on with Genfinity, like back in like late 2021. And then seeing you guys actually roll out pixel drops in a way that was just really, not trying to get rich off the back of the community, just trying to have a tool set for creativity. We did that event. She was 6 at the time, I think, but my 6-year-old and I, and just sat down and colored, and she she submitted it in, and I know that you guys picked her as a winner. And I mean, everybody's a winner when they're contributing into that stuff, but I mean, that was like the happiest I'd seen my 6-year-old in a while. Like, she hadn't won anything yet, so pretty awesome what you guys are doing. I will ask probably Tyler in a second here for an intro, and then we can get into some more questions with everybody. But one thing real quick, Batty, before we kind of ask Tyler for an intro is, you talk about GoMint and kind of really being back to like whenever you were reading through articles and getting streamlined micro payments. I remember doing that too. I think that was like maybe even 2019. And from where we were at with GoMint, can you just tell everybody, like based on somebody that's been in the Hedera community like you have been since the beginning, how much of a shift we've really seen, and how far we've come even in a year? It's probably pretty amazing for you, and what you're looking forward to in the Hedera ecosystem moving forward.
Yeah, certainly. It is amazing. I'm not joking. This is brilliant. So we've got a merch line called Stronger Together, and it is celebrating the fact that the Hedera community is all about equality, acceptance, cohesion, unity, and helping each other out. This community is phenomenal, and it goes back to that core community at the start when it was Mance, Lehman, the core team, people like King, yourself, and the core members. I think Hedera is a really mature community, actually, very supportive. And when we first started, if there was one article or one tweet or one YouTube video a week, we got excited by that. Now you can't keep up. I can't keep up in the Discord. I can't keep up on YouTube. I can't keep up online. It is phenomenal. And what's even more exciting is we're still early. We're still we're still early, and I'm seeing Hedera flourish. And I talk about the day, the open day of the thing when the token was available and I got burned. I always believed in what Hedera was, and that was from a person that had limited education in the space. I think that the community has grown to be so supportive of each other. I was given a list of questions a while ago, and one of them was like, who's your competitors? And I can safely say there are other people in the space who are doing what we're doing, helping hands. They're a foundry, if I got that right. Apologies if I got it wrong. Tutti Fruits with young people like Creative Corner and things like that. And as an educator, I've got an education head on, not a business head. But even people that have got a business mind within the community will say, go to Helping Hands. They'll help you get onboarded. There isn't that kerjuffle, if you like, to try and outdo each other. Yes, there are elements of that. Of course there are. But at the heart of the community, it is that competition ethos, which I think King or Patches coined. And it is the fact that I can reach out to anyone, even somebody that's in the same kind of market as myself, and ask for help and get it. And we wouldn't be here today without it. So in terms of the journey we're on, it's exciting. But what I will say to anyone is that Hedera will do things the right way, and they will never swerve off their path to get a quick win. they'll always do things in the way they say they're going to do it. Sometimes it might be quicker, sometimes it might be slower, but at their heart is doing things the right way, which will last for 100 years or build a 100-year plus company. But I truly believe that that core ethos does resonate through. And when you hear interviews with yourself and Max Walker Williams, with key founders, you get an insight into the journey from day one, and it's really exciting. And I'm proud to be part of the Hedera community. I'm proud to be supported by so many wonderful people in the space, and really looking forward to what's to come. And I see ourselves being here for a very long time. You know, we've got our launch coming up on the 13th, the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Which is our Generation H Bears. They're one of one. It is about, you know, drive again as a project. When we first started, we couldn't do one of ones. We didn't know how to do that. We've learned, and we are the example of. Lehman talks about anyone can carve a piece of Web3 out for themselves, and we are that project. We don't have a team, we don't have funding, we don't have a budget. We are literally your classic people just trying to get on, carving that bit of Web3 for themselves, creating an amazing community, working their projects as best we can. And we'll be here for a long time because we love doing what we're doing, and we love being part of this group of people who, I know, I talk to friends and I say, you know, when you go to school, you're lucky if you meet one person that shares their values and they become your best friend. Technology now, you're surrounded by people who share your values and share your interests. And on a daily basis, we can jump into a space. I mean, I've laughed so much in this last couple of weeks with Gob Feet. I mean, come on, that's brilliant. You know, that's so good. And yeah, so to answer your question, I may well have gone around the house. I do apologise. I have. It's exciting. It's a great place.
Oh no, you're totally fine, Batty. I mean, I couldn't agree more with everything that you've been saying.